tranquil picture of an open fire in a pristine campsite. Around the fire, a black pan with bacon is frying, and a pot of coffee is percolating. Birds can be heard singing in the background with the faint rush of a river in the distance. Everything is calm and peaceful. The sun is breaking through the trees, inviting warmth and comfort. The air is full of pine and anticipated sup. The lens follows the smoke upward to the treetops and follows the tree line down through the woods to where a man is laying with a tree across his legs and a woman bending over him, frantically trying to lift the tree. "Help me. Tell me what to do. I can't move it." She frantically pulls at the tree to no avail and lets out a scream of anguish that shocks the silence. The camera shot rises with the scream and follows the treetops and finds the ears of two men over a mile away. As we zoom on the two men, they freeze in their tracks at the distant sound. "You hear that? That sounded like a woman. Or a she-bear calling her cubs. Sounded like a petticoat to me, and you know I love me some petticoat. Don't court trouble. We can't afford to be seen, woman or not. Let me go have a look-see. I won't bother, less'n she needs help. With you, they always need help. I'm against it. Suit yourself. I'll be back in due course, unless the fire is warming." "Fine. But if you're recognized, don't lead him back to me. I'm not going to get hung on account of your switch. If they got any whiskey, bring me back a jug." "Farewell, brother." He heads up the trail towards the sound of the scream. "Tell me what to do. Tell me something." Try to find a limb to lift the tree. Maybe I can free myself. Damn, that horse running away." She reaches for a limb suitable for the task. "Hurry. I can't feel my legs. They might be broken. Water. I need some water." He tries to call out to Olivia for some water, but passes out instead. Upon returning, she sees he is not moving and desperately tries to wake him. Failing to do so, she puts the limb over a fulcrum and tries to lift the tree. "I'm here. Wake up. It's okay. Luke, please. Wake up, Luke. Wake up. I'm not strong enough to lift it." She falls to the ground and sobs. Hearing a noise, she looks up to see a man in store-bought clothes, heeled with a Colt 44, staring at her. "I thought I heard a woman scream." "I can't believe it. I thought there was no one in these parts. I need your help. My husband..." "You got any whiskey in this camp?" "You don't understand." "Whiskey, I said. You got any?" "We have some over by the camp." "Well, let's you and I go find it." "My husband is hurt. I'm not going anywhere with you until you help him." "Is that so? Well, no whiskey, no help." "What kind of man are you?" "The thirsty kind." "Very well." She runs to get the medicinal whiskey, leaving him alone with Luke. He walks over and puts his foot on the tree under which Luke is lying. He takes out a piece of chaw and bites a chunk of it off. He works it in his jaw and then spits it in the direction of Luke. Upon returning, she hands him the bottle. With non-gratis, he swills it down like soda pop. "Looks like you're in a pickle. What do you expect me to do?" "Use the limb and lift the tree from his legs. I will pull him out. You can do that much, won't you?" "What do I get out of the deal?" "What do you expect, sir? It's the decent thing to do in this matter. We have a small amount of money to offer you and perhaps some food, but not much else. Appeal to your sense of humanity, and we'll ever be obliged for your consideration." Obliged? Now that's a word I can relate to. How about starting with a kiss, and we'll see how obliging you are. I'm a married woman, sir. I'm not obliged in such things regarding you. Suit yourself. He sits directly on the tree with his full weight, bringing a groan from Luke. Stop, you coward. She grabs his arms and pulls Trace toward her. He grabs her face with full embrace, kissing her until she stops struggling. Stop, wait. Once he's out of danger, then you'll have your kiss. Anything you say, ma'am. Glad to be of service. He picks up the limb and begins to move the fallen tree. Olivia moves to Luke and begins to pull his body from beneath the tree. Luke, can you hear me? She takes a damp cloth and wipes his brow. It's going to be okay. You're free. She cradles his head in her lap. You're safe now. He puts his hand on her arm and sighs. I love you. Ain't that sweet? He takes another pull of the whiskey jug. Hey, tea cake, you and me got a date. You're obliged, remember? He laughs and takes another swill. What's he talking about? He tries to move, but his shoulder has been dislocated, and he cries out in pain. My arm, I think it's broken. Looking closely at his arm. No, not broken. Dislocated. It needs to be set and placed in a sling. Sir, are you just going to stand there? It'll take both of us to put it back in place. I got the Widowmaker off the plow, boy. What more do you want? I need you to hold him so I can pull the shoulder back in place. I ain't no nursemaid. He's just another greener to me. Yes, I appreciate your help. If you would do this one last thing, You'll what? I might have a drink of whiskey with you. Might? I will. I'll have a drink of whiskey. No, we can manage. You don't know the misery you're in for if you don't right this arm. Hold him for me. You mean like this? Must you be so rough? You hadn't seen rough, but you're likely to. Hold him true. Puts a scarf in Luke's mouth to bite on. She jerks down his arm. Luke lets out a cry and passes out in Trace's arms. Trace waits for a moment, then drops him to the ground in a heap. You bastard! Trace grabs her by the neck and forces her to kiss him. You're a woman all over, trying to calm his lustful intentions. Wait, you spoke of a drink. Catching her breath. A little whiskey. It might do good right now. Trace calms himself, and he picks up the bottle and hands it to her. Ladies first. She pauses, wipes the mouth of the bottle with her sleeve, and takes a sip. That's disgusting. You're gonna need a bigger pull. She takes a longer drink and offers it back to him. He kills the rest and tosses the bottle. I mentioned earlier we had a bit of money. Looking at her like a piece of meat. I'm not here for that. I have a sweet tooth for a little Irish cunny. He roughs her up and eventually wrestles her to the ground, where he sits upon her breathless body. He unbuckles his gun belt and begins to pull her skirt up. Suddenly, he is aware of eyes upon him. Standing there with a shotgun in one hand with the barrel over his injured arm. Get off her! He stands to his feet and looks at Luke, like he would a fly landing on a nearby dung. What do you plan to do with that bottle washer? I don't want any trouble. Just leave. Trace grabs the shotgun and uses the butt of the rifle upside of Luke's head. He falls into a heap. Trace stands over him with a smile. The only thing you're good for is to clean my boot. Trace kicks him in the face. After admiring himself, he hears a noise from behind. He turns to see Olivia pointing his 6-gun at him. He smiles at her until she returns the smile. Then his face becomes resolved. She fires a shot into his knee that buckles him, and after a brief pause, she takes out the other knee and drops him into the praying position. She puts the gun in her belt, and some relief comes over Trace's face as they stare at each other. She stares at him and says, "I'm not Irish." She draws and fires a single shot into his forehead. She slides the gun into her belt and walks over and kicks his lifeless body twice in the gut. We pan through the trees about 2 miles away to a man standing with his face to the sun. The sound of the gunfire captures Brack's attention. "Damn his switch." Brack heads in the direction of the gunfire.